Hello travelers! As some of you might already know, that over the past few days, we've received a ton of exciting new information about version 5.3. Now that we have all the confirmed details about what's coming in 5.2, this is the perfect time to dive into all the exciting new things coming in version 5.3. This video is packed with all the juicy details coming in 5.3, so make sure to stick around. I've also included chapters below, so you can easily find what you're most excited for without having to go through all of my excessive yapping. Now, without wasting any more time, let's dive right into the video. Starting off with a new map, this time, it seems we're getting the new map on the southwest side of Natlan. If you take a closer look, the map may look similar in size to the one we got in 5.2, but it's actually bigger. As the 5.2 map contains water areas, that makes the map look larger, but it's smaller due to less land area. On the other hand, the 5.3 map is mostly landmass, making it larger. Also, not to mention that this new map is also going to offer a huge volcano that can be seen from anywhere in Natlan. I'm pretty sure some of you have already seen it exploding. Anyway, as we're getting this new map, we're also expected to see new tribes and Saurians related to it. As for how the Saurians are going to look, or how the tribe will appear, well, we don't have enough concrete info on that just yet, but I'm pretty sure we'll get that once the beta for 5.3 starts. But still, logically speaking, in 5.3, we're supposed to be getting the last tribe of Natlan, also known as the Collective of Plenty tribe, with the final Saurian. The new Saurian is going to have similar exploration mechanics based on its tribe characters, like Genshin, as we know that Genshin also belongs to the same tribe. As for the Saurian's exploration abilities, it's pretty obvious by now that each character has similar exploration traits based on their tribe Saurians. Like, both Chaska and Auroron can fly, and their Saurian creatures have the same abilities, meaning they can also fly in the air just like them. So, in the case of version 5.3, I guess the Saurian is going to have same exploration abilities similar to Genshin's. With a new map, we're also expected to see the final two chapters of the Natlan Archon Quest, likely chapters 6 and 7. Previously, it was supposed to be chapters 5 and 6. But since we're getting chapter 5 in version 5.2, it's now switched to chapters 6 and 7 for patch 5.3. Now let's talk about the highly anticipated Pyro Traveler, as he will also make his return in this version. I'm pretty much sure many of you have already know that we didn't get to see the Pyro Traveler in version 5.0, and this puts a gap in between, because in all the previous nations, Genshin releases the Traveler with the respective element of each nation, but this time, it seems it might not be the case. Anyway, if you might be wondering why this is happening or when we'll get the Traveler's pyro abilities, well, the answer is quite simple. If you've completed Archon Quest Act 2, you may have obtained a new item called the Cornerstone of Stars and Flame. This is labeled as a character level up material and will be crucial for the Traveler to unlock his pyro abilities. Just like other Traveler level up materials, this one is also locked behind the story, meaning the only way to get the Pyro Traveler is by completing the main story of Natlan. Additionally, if you check the reputation system, you may encounter an item called Blazing Flint Ore, which is said to be a Traveler constellation material. So, you can get the Pyro abilities material from the Archon Quest and the constellations from the reputation system. Now that we are done with the new map, Saurians, and the Pyro Traveler, let's take a look at the new characters, banners, and RERUNS we can expect in version 5.3. Starting off with the new characters. In 5.3, we're expected to see two new 5-star characters, Mauvika and Citlali. As for in which patch we'll see both of them, well, it hasn't been confirmed yet, but we usually see Archons in the first phase when they're first released. So by that, we can expect Mauvika in the first phase, followed by other new characters, like Citlali in the second. Now let's discuss the potential reruns we can expect in the first phase. In the first phase, we're expected to see either Xianyun or Arlecchino, and in the second phase, the rerun candidate is expected to be Shenhe. So if we gather all the information, we're confirmed to have Mauvika in the first phase, followed by either Xianyun or Arlecchino, and in the second phase, we can expect Citlali as the new 5-star character, followed by Shenhe as the rerun candidate. Keep in mind that this lineup is not 100% confirmed yet. and there's a high chance that it might change in the future since we get the accurate banner info after the beta for that specific version starts, which is expected to open after 3 days. So, I recommend being skeptical. But if we look at the character IDs of Natlan characters release, Mauvika and Citlali are 90% confirmed to appear in 5.3. Now, let's take a look at the kit details of Mauvika and Citlali. This time, the source is HXG and Uncle something in Chinese. According to them, Mauvika's elemental skill has different modes depending on whether you press or tap it. On pressing or tapping her elemental skill, she enters her Night Soul's blessing state. Also, while in combat, if you press or tap her elemental skill instead of holding it, her weapon changes into a sun torch and throws a huge fireball at enemies, similar to other characters like Shangling's pet and Furina's pet. On the other hand, if you hold her elemental skill, she charges at her target, slashes, and enters fusion state, then swings her weapon, punching and generating waves. So, in Razor language, when you short press her elemental skill, she can be a support. And when you hold or long press her elemental skill, she can be a DPS, dealing pyro-based damage similar to Dea and Arlecchino. It's kind of like how Furina switches between Numa and Usia. But for Mauvika, it's all about pressing and holding her elemental skill. Also, keep in mind that this only occurs in combat. If you're not in combat, holding her elemental skill crushes the weapon into pieces and turns it into a motorcycle as part of her exploration ability. On top of that, she can jump on the motorcycle like Kachina and Xylonen, and it changes into a glider when she's in the air. Similar to Chaska's gun, she can even run on water and do hookshots like Kinich. In general, she seems to have all the abilities of every character from Natlan. Doesn't that sound a bit fishy? At first, I was a bit skeptical about Mauvika's motorbike, but after seeing Chaska's flying cannon or gun, I wouldn't be surprised if Mauvika's exploration ability really does turn out to be a motorbike. Anyway, let's talk about Mauvika's elemental burst. It grants a bit of Night Soul and interruption resistance. And by interruption resistance, I can see why people are saying Mauvika is similar to Dea since Dea also provides interruption resistance. So I guess that's why they're comparing Mauvika's kit to Dea's. Plus, there's a basic attribute boost, making everyone on the team glitter with rainbows as Mauvika uses her elemental burst. Mauvika is both a DPS and support character, and her constellations make her DPS even stronger as they increase in number. Now, let's take a look at Citlali's kit. Well, we don't have much info yet, but it is said that she'll be a cryo catalyst character who has shielding capabilities and can deal off field damage like Ganyu and Layla. Also, a reliable source, Home DG Cat, mentioned that Hoyoverse might be testing a specific team comp that includes Mauvika, Citlali, and the Pyro Traveler. However, previous leaks suggested that Citlali might end up on the standard banner, just like Dea. But now, I don't think that will happen, especially considering that they're testing her out alongside Mauvika. So we can only assume that she will serve as a support for Mauvika along with the Pyro Traveler. Now let's talk about the new skins that we might see in the upcoming versions of Natlan. According to recent sources, it is said that we might see new skins for 3 characters in 5.3 that are Zhongli, Yellen, and Changyan. Now the source didn't specify whether these skins will be featured in the Lantern Rite or not, but since Zhongli, Yellen, and Changyan are all Liwei characters, it would make sense for the new skins to debut during the Lantern Rite event. Also, I've seen a lot of people speculating that Yellen might get a rerun in 5.3 since she'll be getting a skin around the Lantern Rite. Personally, I don't think that's going to happen, as last Lantern Rite, we got new skins for Ganyu and Shenhe, but neither of them had a rerun then. So, I wouldn't expect a rerun just because of a new skin. Additionally, the Lantern Rite is expected to fall between versions 5.3 and 5.4, so there's a chance that Yellen and Zhongli's skins could even show up in 5.4, perhaps with the release of Madame Ping. Lastly, we're also expected to see the return of the Chronicle Wish banner in 5.3. At first, I couldn't believe it, because obviously how can Hoyoverse put so many things into one patch? I speculated that instead of 5.3, the Chronicle Wish would be in 5.2 instead. But with the sheer amount of content coming in 5.2, I think 5.3 actually makes more sense for its release. Plus, reliable sources suggest that this time the Chronicle Wish banner will be Liwei themed, featuring all the 5-star Liyue characters. And that's a wrap for today's video. With all the exciting content coming in version 5.3, along with new characters and exploration mechanics, there's definitely a lot to look forward to. I hope this video helped give you a clear overview of what to expect. And as always, I'll keep you updated with more details as they emerge. If you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.